The probe is out of the ground up to B8. Right somewhere between B7 and B8.
Okay, Baker 7 and 8.
Copy, fine. Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What is that? What line is it? That's the heat flow. Pulled it off. I don't know how that happened.
The simulated attempts at repairs on Earth turn out to be too time-consuming. The heat flow experiment can no longer be carried out. During the return to Earth, at a distance of 310,000 kilometers from his home planet, the pilot of the command module undertakes a spacewalk for almost an hour and a half. He retrieves film cassettes from the scientific instrument module. At the beginning of December 1972, Apollo 17 set off for the moon. For the first time, there is a scientist on board, the geologist Harrison Schmitt. It is the first night launch for the Saturn V, and at the same time, the last mission of the Apollo moon landing program.
You're on go for orbit, go for orbit.
Roger, kind words, Robert, we're go for orbit here.
On their way to the moon, the crew took the first picture of the entire Earth. The picture of the blue marble was possible because the launch took place shortly after the new moon. The crew of Apollo 17 broke a number of records. Their mission lasted for over 12 days. The astronauts spent almost 23 hours on missions outside the spacecraft, and they brought over 110 kilograms of rock samples back to Earth. They landed in the Taurus Littoral Valley on the southeastern part of the Sea of Serenity. The Mare Serenitatis was formed some 3.9 billion years ago, following the impact of a massive celestial body. A talent for improvisation was called for when the right rear wing of the lunar rover broke off. With the help of adhesive tape, staples, and a lunar mat, the damage to the vehicle was repaired. Without the wheel cover, moon dust flew around the pilots, and it became impossible to drive by sight. The powder-like moon dust presented a huge problem. It was as rough as sandpaper and crept into the connecting elements of the spacesuits, making them extremely difficult to close so that they were airtight. It therefore became essential for survival that the fine powder was carefully brushed off before clambering back into the lunar module.
Thank you, Dino. It looks much better.
The television camera also needed constant cleaning. The fine powder caused the spacesuits to become statically loaded. Inside the lunar module, the moon dust smelled like burnt gunpowder because it reacted with the oxygen present there. The space travelers in Apollo 17 had finally become mine workers. Orange-colored glass beads were scattered around the 110-meter crater known as Shorty. The glass fragments are 3.64 billion years old and are the remains of a volcanic eruption. For the geologist Schmitt, the discovery was the find of a lifetime.
Oh, hey! Wait a minute. What? What are reflections? I've been fooled. There is orange soil. Well, don't move it till I see it. It's all over. Orange. Don't move it till I see it. I stirred it up with my feet. Hey, it is! I can see it from here. It's orange. Man, I put my visor up. It's still orange. Sure it is. Amazing. Orange.
An improvised variation on the song The Fountain in the Park made the Apollo 17 astronauts Cernan and Schmitt a world-famous singing duo.
Pop, pop, I was strolling on the moon one day in the merry, merry month of December.
Now, May. May's the month.
May, that's right.
May is the year of the month.
When, much to my surprise, a pair of bunny eyes.
Shortly before a lunar module took off for the last time from the moon, the astronauts left behind a memorial plaque with a message of peace for all mankind.
The words are, here man completed his first exploration of the moon, December 1972 AD. May the spirit of peace in which we came be reflected in the lives of all mankind. This is our commemoration that will be here until someone like us, till some of you who are out there who are the promise of the future, come back to read it again and to further the exploration and the meaning of Apollo.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good.
The departure of the astronauts Cernan and Schmidt on December 14, 1972, marked the end of the Apollo missions to the moon. Since then, no human beings have returned to the moon.
Challenger, Houston, I'd like to terminate activity now.
Between 1969 and 1972, 12 space travelers set foot on the moon's surface. The pioneering deeds of the Apollo astronauts continue to inspire us right up to this day.